Hello, and welcome back to the next episode, or another episode of Dookie Forge. In the last episode, we actually forged something, which is fantastic, which was it was a bottle opener, and I'll show that here. And it came out well. It was based on a lesson in the blacksmithing lesson book, and I did a lot of research and executed, and it made a functional bottle opener, which is amazing. So in this episode, we're hopefully going back to the same location in the park and going to set up. And this, I guess this episode kind of will be the first real episode, I suppose, where I'm going to actually try to focus on making the items. And so I'm going to record a little bit, but I'm going to start a time lapse, and hopefully, if everything goes right, go out over multiple days and make 100 bottle openers. And the reason for that is I've just, through reading and research and lots of videos, a lot of very good blacksmiths all say pretty much the same thing when it comes to starting out is, one, but usually bottle openers are like a very good beginner item, and you should make 100 of them before you move on to something else and start growing into other projects. So that's what we're going to do. And I have a few small updates to the cart and a few other things that I'll show you once we get out there. So I'm here out at the parking lot, and as you saw, I got a new regulator, and the reason being is the old original regulator, I couldn't run it low enough, and it was running the forge extremely hot, and it was as close to zero in the gauge as I could get it. And so I got a lower range regulator from 0 to 30 psi, and hopefully I can run the forge a little bit cooler. And then on top of that, as I said before, the whole mission the mission going forward here is to try to make a few bottle openers, not just one. And so I brought enough material for nine bottle openers, and we're going to see how it goes. Obviously, I want to make them look somewhat like this, if I can help it. I'm going to try before I start venturing off into different designs. And I'm going to finish setting up, and I'll probably set the camera out on a time lapse while I'm actually working, and see how it goes. All right, looks like the forge is set up. I'm going to light the actual forge. I have my bucket of water here, and of course, fire extinguisher over here with everything necessary, of course. And of course, the torch, which I will use here in just a second. All right, let's grab the torch. Now the first thing I want to do is I just want to open the propane tank itself, just to get, and the regulator is turned off. Propane tank will be turned on, so that way I can look at the gauge, hopefully, and let through just a less, like a 2 psi of pressure, something like that, like a 3, and we'll see how it goes when I light this thing. I'll open up the valve up here just a little bit, just to let a little gas in. And there we go. I've been working for a little while, and what I did, I turned off the forge right now just for saving gas and noise and stuff. It gets plenty hot, so it's not like letting it cool a little bit will really be a bad thing. But, so I went through and I just went through all 9, and I did the initial, I guess, claw taper side of the bottle opener. Some came out pretty good, some not so much. I definitely need some more practice. One of the things that is actually creating a big challenge for me right now is, well, one, the wind, but mainly, well, and there's a lot of people around. There's, for some reason, people actually use tennis courts and dog parks on the weekend. But no, one of the big issues is the sun. I can't see the temperature of right when I take it out of the forge, it looks black. And so I just kind of have to trust. And then also, one of the things I expected the temperature thing to be, an issue in the sun. But one of the other issues is it's hard to tell where my hammer lands, because normally I can see like the indentation on and then I can adjust the angle of the hammer for the next hit so that I can then kind of, at least that's what I noticed the first time I took the card out. It was an overcast day and I could see like the indentations of each hammer blow, so then I could move, and that was really helpful. Well, in the sun, I can't actually see, so I'm finding that I'm inadvertently hammering on one side without even knowing it and leaving one side thicker. And so I'm having to, practice a lot as far as like adjust that angle a lot. And it's unfortunately caused a few that are a little jankier than they should be. But considering this is my first 9. I did, it's only been, I don't know, since I set up the cart, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes. And maybe, a half hour since I started tapering the first sides of each one. So I got 9 sides, done. And so now I'm going to flip it around and heat the other sides and start the, I guess, a little bit longer process of the full taper of the other side, and try to make that as quick and efficient as I can. I would really like to be able to do it all, the whole tapering process in one heat. But right now I'm having trouble seeing the temperature, seeing where I'm hitting, and just, practice in general. So maybe one day in the future. But for now, I'm just going to continue and get these things tapered up. So here we go. I've been tapering, and it's been actually pretty difficult, like I said from earlier, because of the sun and not being able to see the temperature, not really being able to see hammer hits. I've run into an issue where it might be hard to show, but I'll insert some stills if the footage doesn't come out clear. But I got the ends of these next two kind of cracking a little bit. This one's the worst because I tried to fix it, and it just kept cracking up the steel. And I'm guessing that is a combination. This one's all right. It just started cracking, so that I stopped. I'm guessing it's a combination of me working it very small and then also too cold. That's my guess. So I'm gonna try to, when I get down to a narrower taper, the first two actually came out really good. But when I try to get down to a narrower taper, I'm gonna try to keep it warmer, but it's really difficult. So I might have to take these two and go home, when I go home, and chop the ends off and try to reuse the stock and try to re-taper it next time. So that's a little update. I'm gonna get back to trying to taper the rest here, and I'll see you. I might stop about halfway through and see what's up again. I have 6 now that are tapered fairly well. Yeah, so hopefully I can make them look at least somewhat similar to this. I'm not, they don't have to, it doesn't have to match perfectly, but it'd be nice to get, a nice little set of these, just to, for practice purposes. And yeah. Whew, I am tired, I will say. And it has been an interesting day with the parade and all these people playing tennis, and the dog park is just packed. So I'm gonna get to bending. Wish me luck. So the haul is a total of 6 bottle openers. I haven't tested any of them yet, so I don't even know if any of them open bottles. I'll probably go to the store later today and pick up some Coke or something like that, and so I can test all these out, make sure they actually do open bottles, because, well, that would kind of defeat the purpose. So right now, I'm just going to pack up, and I'm so hungry. It's, what time is it? I got here around 9:45, so let's say 10-ish in the morning. It is 12:46, so 10, 11, 12, almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours, and I made 6 bottle openers, which isn't very efficient, I will say. 6 bottle openers, 3 hours. Well, it's 2 bottle openers an hour. So, yeah, I have a long way to go. The biggest slowdown was definitely not being able to see the temperature and all that. So, I'm gonna pack up, and then we'll roll back and we'll chat more at the apartment, kind of wrap up, clean up, and all that stuff. I'm tired. Well, I'm at home. This was the first, I guess, what I would call real day out. I've had, I wouldn't say it was 100% success. It was a mild success. I went out with the materials to do 9 bottle openers. I did most of the work to get all 9 done, but here's the haul. 6 bottle openers, which is pretty good. They aren't, this is the one I made last video, the trial run of the cart. It was this one. And I attempted to make, 6 more fairly close to this. And, some are a little different. Some have a little bit longer, different, smaller bends or whatever. But overall, as far as the, making 6 more that were looking like this, I would say that's a success. Now, I went out with materials for 9, and I did the majority of the work to get all 9 done, but 3 of these, I made a mistake. I think I was working them too aggressively and too cold because I couldn't see the temperature. Once I brought the thing out of the forge, it just all looked the same color. And so it was really difficult to gauge like how cool the tip was compared to the meat and all that other stuff. So what I found after I cracked, these, I found that just going slower and kind of more methodically tapering things out and doing, between 6 and 10 hammer blows per heat, especially when it started getting, narrow, because I didn't want the tip to get cool. So I was just kind of working slower in the taper, but faster in and out of the forge. And I found that gave me better success. Overall, I learned a lot. I'm extremely tired. hopefully I can speed up this process. Like I said, it's really difficult when you can't see the color of the steel and the wind and all the noise and all the people around. That was a lot more difficult than yeah, I was necessarily expecting. I guess I'm going to hold on to this footage and record the next time I can take the cart out. I probably won't record the walking out and up the hill and all that stuff. I'll probably just get out there, set up and time lapse so I can continue and hopefully not, you know, within a reasonable amount of time, I can have a pile of 100 of these bad boys. And, you know, I think every group or so, every 10, 15, I might try a new design and just to vary it up, but still keep the theme fairly similar. So the next time I can go out, I'm going to have these cleaned up so I can re-taper these. So I'll have those 3, and then I'll try to make a handful more that look pretty much like this, and so on and so forth. Right now, I'm going to go get me a sandwich. I'm going to take me a Dookie. I'm going to relax a little bit. See what else I got to do. I got to edit a bunch of footage and all the other stuff, so I guess this isn't the end of the episode. This is on to the next time lapse for hopefully the rest of the time till I get to 100. We'll see how that goes. Oh yeah, before I forget, I also got sunburn, which is great.
And there was much rejoicing.
So this is day 2, I guess, almost a week later. I'm going to be bringing a few different things with me this time. Banana boat, sunscreen. I'm still, my skin is still a little sensitive from last week. I'm going to be bringing hacksaw, just in case I split some of the ends of the steel from being too cold, so I can continue work on that. Then I'm going to be bringing a drill with a little wire wheel, just to help clean up a little bit of the scale on the bottle openers, help smooth them out a little bit before beeswax and finish. And then I'm bringing enough material for 10 bottle openers, and that's including the 3 from last week that I kind of messed up a little bit. And then last but not least, I am bringing a little bit of lunch, sandwich, and some chips, just in case it goes past lunch or around lunch, I can actually have a snack and keep going, hopefully. With the sunscreen, hopefully I'll be good. See you out there. I'm back out here, I'm all set up, and I'm just gonna go straight to time lapse. I'm still out of breath from pushing it up that hill, but and I forgot my phone. So today's starting out as a great day. So yeah, just straight to time lapse. I'm going to be making some more bottle openers, as I will be for a while. I have enough, like I said before, I have enough materials for 10. I have some of the previous ones I've made just for reference. I'm gonna try, I like the shape of this one, how this one came out, so I'm gonna try my best to match that. But other than that, let's hope nobody bothers me. There's this weird field trip thing across the street. 1,000 school buses, guessing of, you know, under or middle school or whatever kids doing like a running race thing. And of course the dog park is completely full of people with dogs. So we'll see. On to time lapse. So everything seems to be working rather well today. The forge is running clean, about 2,400 degrees. I just finished tapering all of these, which I believe that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I just finished tapering all of these. It went a little bit quicker, I think, partly due to the three that I messed up last week. Kind of gave me a little bit of a head start, and so 3 of them required very little work. But ultimately, I feel like it went pretty fast. I don't know what time it is today because I forgot my phone, but I'm going to start bending these and seeing how it goes. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. Day 2, hopefully another 10 bottle openers. Oh, I messed that all up. I'm gonna need to fix all that. Well, I think today was a pretty successful day. A few more people, were curious about what I was doing, but nobody was mad at me, so that's good. But today I made 10 bottle openers. With, I guess, 3 of them I had a little bit of a head start on from last week, but I'm still pretty happy with it. I've made a few mistakes and a few things could be better, but I think overall I'm pretty pleased. I forgot my beeswax and all that, so I'm not going to finish them here. I'm just going to take them back home, clean them up with a wire wheel, and then beeswax them at home, just using the oven. So I'm just gonna pack up. And leave it at that. Probably not record any of it because I have many more days of this exact project to go. And yeah, it'll be very repetitive. So end of day 2, I might do a recap back in the apartment. But end of day 2, and it's a good day. See you back home. Day 2, end of day. Back at the apartment, kind of wrap up. Well, I'm back at the apartment. Cooled off a little bit. It's good 80 degrees out today. Good thing I got some sunscreen. But it went pretty well. The haul, this was from the last time. These are finished with beeswax and all that. And this is the haul from this time. Overall, some are a little bit better, some are a little bit worse, but made a total of 10. And it went pretty well. Still need some more practice, but I'm pretty happy with it. These aren't completely finished. I'm going to wire wheel them with the drill and a wire wheel just to clean them up. Then I'm just going to heat them up in the oven and beeswax finish them. I'm not going to bother recording that. I might do some shots, but I still have a lot more to go. I guess 83 more bottle openers to go. 83. So I'll see you the next day I take the cart out. Alrighty, so this is day 4. I'm out at the park again. I'm at the slightly closer location to where I come from. And today is kind of a somewhat exciting day because I'm closing in on the first 50 bottle openers. I technically have 18 more to go, and today I brought enough materials for 10 more, and so my goal is to come out tomorrow as well and finish up the last 8 to get to 50. And then after 50, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, do a slight project shift, but it should help me make the next 50 and actually be a little bit more creative and be able to do different stuff other than just the standard bends that I've been doing pretty good, I think, and I've been getting used to. So probably not too much recording as far as me making the bottle openers today. Maybe a little bit here and there, but it's going to be a lot of the same from the previous days. But we're closing in on the first 50, which is really exciting, and I'll see you in a bit. Small update here, still on day 4. Things are going really well. I think as far as making the standard kind of bottle opener that I started with is really getting ingrained. And just as an example, I'm making 10 bottle openers today, and these are ones that are finished. I just brought them with me to show people that interrupt me. But I'm already done with the initial paddle bevel, or the tooth bevel, I guess, of the bottle opener, and it's only been maybe 10 minutes on all 10. So things are going pretty smooth. I have a feeling that I'm not going to have any problem, as long as it doesn't rain, getting to 50 tomorrow. So that's probably where I'll do a little bit more filming, like the final group of the first 50, just to show kind of a before and after, or progress, I guess, to see if anybody notices. Yeah, it's going really good. Well, this is still day 4. Another update. I know, it's crazy. But I don't know if something, I don't know if I would classify it as amazing or just cool or, you know, just awesome. You know, full of dookie is how I would describe it, which is awesome. But I just sold 2 bottle openers. Some people came by and they were interested and I was showing them. Normally I bring a few of the finished ones over. Well, now I only have 2 left, but normally I bring a few of the finished ones just to, you know, as people interrupt or are curious, I can show them like what I'm making, and they're usually just like, oh, that's cool, and then they move on. Well, this group of people actually bought 2 of my finished bottle openers, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what that means, but it's pretty cool either way. So there's that. Well, this is another day 4 update. I'm taking a little break, having a little snack, and because I just finished the actual forging part of, there we go. I just finished the actual forging part of the 10 that I brought out today, and I mentioned before that I sold 2. Well, I sold the other 2 finished ones that I brought out as my, you know, example finished ones. So I made a good 20 bucks today. So that's pretty cool. I don't know, I still don't know what to think about it, but I'm guessing I should bring out a couple more finished ones from now on, just in case people want to buy them. The downside is I have to make another 4 to get to 100. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I'll have to make 12 tomorrow, I think, in order to get to 50. Well, I guess, yeah, to get to 50, I have to make another 4. So I think I have to make 12 tomorrow to get to 50. We'll see if that happens, but it's going great. It's enough to at least pay for the steel and all that stuff, you know, more than enough to pay for the steel. So I don't necessarily know if $5 is the right price for these, but it's more than enough to pay for the steel. I think, you know, the total cost of the actual amount, the length of steel that I'm using is like the 15 to 30 cents, something like that. So $5 per bottle opener, you know, it might not be enough for labor, but you know, it feels pretty good. So I got lunch. I got a good lunch. I got probably 2 or 3 lunches. So that's great. Right now I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'm just going to wire wheel and wire brush the ones I've made, pack up, head out, and finish up, I've been doing the wax finish just in the oven, heating them up in the oven and then just waxing them there. I just find it a little bit easier and all that. So yeah, it's a crazy day, crazy 4th day. So I have at least one more day, hopefully tomorrow, to get to 50. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe if I sell too many, I won't get to 50. So it's good and bad, I guess. All right, lunchtime. Well, I was monitoring the weather and it was saying that it's supposed to not rain after 9 a.m. So I came out here and of course it's raining. So I'm just going to sit here for a little bit. It still says it's supposed to pass really quickly, so I'm just going to chill out. If it continues to rain for too much longer, I'm probably just going to go back in, and unfortunately we'll have to continue this, the last 50 bottle openers, I suppose, or the first 50 bottle openers, next week. So it's kind of a bummer, but it's weather. All right, here we are. 2 days in a row. This is a Saturday-Sunday weekend. And yeah, I was saying earlier, it was just raining. So hopefully, it looks like it's pretty clear now and getting clearer. And hopefully the wind dies down a little bit too. It can be a little gusty right now. But today's a big day. I am going to make a couple more bottle openers. And well, it should get to the 50 that I'm looking for, and then we can move on to bigger and bigger projects, and hopefully continue the learning process. So far, I mean, with my first, I'll do a wrap up here at the end, but so far I'm pretty happy with how things are going. So anyway, on this 50 bottle opener day, let's set up. So I had almost interesting. I'm about to wire wheel those bottle openers before I head back to the apartment. I just squished those pieces of steel for the bending jig, and literally I was eating some lunch, just a snack, to get some energy back, and come rolling into the park, cop SUV, come rolling in, I don't know, about 20 feet away, and like stops in the grass, like behind a tree, like they're hidden or something, like behind that tree over there. And like it's a big SUV, so I saw them, but they just stopped there and literally watched me for a few seconds and rolled on off. So either they were just didn't want to, go through the effort of talking to me, or they didn't care. So that's a good thing. Okay, so I'm back at the apartment, the studio penthouse apartment, if anybody remembers, and we've kind of hit a milestone, another milestone. The first outing, I guess, the first project with the mobile blacksmith or forge is complete, the first half anyway, and overall things went really well. There's a few things that definitely can improve on the cart. One, it's a lot heavier than I thought, which I can't really do much about the weight. But the issue that I mentioned a while ago when I was building the cart, that the issue that might become an issue, is the wobble in the arms of the anvil and the vise arm. There's a little bit too much wobble. It's not detrimental. I obviously can work with it, but when I find that when I'm hitting the hammer and with certain angles and consecutive blows, the anvil can move enough that makes my hammer miss, because then the anvil and the piece is in a different spot as different from what my muscle memory remembers. So upcoming soon, probably before I continue on with the rest of the 50 bottle openers, or the remaining 50, I'm probably going to take at least the anvil arm apart, but probably both the anvil and the vise arm, the upper connecting arm brackets, and replace the straight bars with angle iron from the hinge to the upright. So hopefully that will remove a certain percentage, a certain amount of the wobble. Obviously it won't get rid of all of it, but I'm hoping it will get rid of quite a bit of it. Enough to tide me over for a while, at least. But I guess without further ado, have you ever wondered what 50 bottle openers looks like? For the eagle-eyed out there, you might notice that there is not actually 50 bottle openers, there's 47. That is because I decided to continue to count the ones that I sold the other day. I sold 4, and I made an extra one, so technically I'm at 51 bottle openers. Even better. And yeah, so that is what it looks like. It's pretty awesome. Now, I by no means am, a master at this, but I think considering this is my first blacksmithing project with the mobile forge, with a big first for everything, really, I think this is a really good success. Some of them are better than others. Some, are different shapes than others. It's fairly consistent, especially near the end with the last like 2 or 3 batches. I got very consistent, I would say, and it was really good. So, what is next? Well, there's a lot of things next. There's a few projects coming up that I want to do. One is the bending jig for the bottle opener so that the next 50 will go a lot smoother and I can be a little bit more creative and take maybe a little bit more time. And while I'm doing all that, I'll probably have 1 or 2 or 3 overlapping projects kind of going on at the same time. One of them will be upgrading the cart arms for with the angle iron. I want to make a guillotine tool for the anvil and for future projects, so I want to try to make my own guillotine tool. I know I could buy one for like 180 bucks and it'd be fine, and I could always do that, but I want to try to make my own. And you know, if it's terrible, then I'll buy one. If it's half decent, then I'll use mine. So a guillotine tool. I need to make some tongs. That's going to be big because I only have the few. I bought a few pairs of tongs a while ago, but they're just to start out with and have enough, you know, to get going. But I have a few other things, like a few other projects that I think I'm going to need, well, more tongs to hold on to different stuff. So I want to make some tongs, I want to do a guillotine tool, I want to do the bending jig, I want to upgrade the cart, and do the remaining 50 bottle openers, as well as some other projects that I'm starting to, well, trying to get prepared for and get the necessary materials and all that stuff. So a lot of exciting stuff. I'm trying to improve on everything. That includes not just the blacksmithing, but the recording and the editing. It's a lot more, let's just say, it's a lot more to do and a lot more work than anybody says. Even the people that say it's a lot of work, they don't say it's a lot of work. But it is a lot of work to try to learn all these new skills at the same time while, you know, having a full-time job and all this other stuff. But it's going well. I'm going to try my best to regularly put out content and try to schedule out these projects as best I can. Still weather dependent, obviously. Can't go out in the rain, but I gotta say, it's going really well. So, yeah, first project down. A bunch of other projects coming. I'll leave you here with this week's quote of the week. Hey, who's that Quotamon?
Oh, hey there. I see you over there, trying to hide and stuff. You can't evade my eagle eyes. You might know me as that guy who played in Nacho Libre, or that guy who was in The Shining. Some people even call me Catwoman, or sometimes Iron Man. But you might also know me as that lovable little scamp who plays Wolverine all the time. That's the sound of my claws scratching away. I'm coming for you. It's okay though. These claws are made of CGI. They ain't reals. Well, what am I doing here? I'm just here to help my best friend Dookie. He's trying to build a business over here. Maybe, if he can do it. Can he? Well, that's up to you now, ain't it? Anyway, I'm here to do that thing. So here's your quote. Can you guess where it's from? Bet you can. Okay. But for now, rest well and dream of large women. That's from one of my favorite movies. I think I even starred in it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I've had too many drugs and I've eaten too many wild animals alive. I can't tell what's real anymore. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, y'all. Spider-Man out.